More now on our top story this morning, and questions being raised about security measures taken at the championship parade in Toronto after 4 people were seriously injured in a shooting. Joining us now by phone with more is the City of Toronto Chief Communications Officer, Brad Ross. Brad, you just started this position days ago. It's good to have you with us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
By noon yesterday, these concerns were started to be voiced. I remember looking over into Nathan Phillips Square, wondering where are all the armed officers, and that just continued to grow as more and more people started to flood downtown. The chief yesterday answering those questions said that they wanted to maintain a celebratory nature. So I'm curious, whose decision was it to put less visible police presence at the parade, and why was that decision made?
So I don't know if that was the decision per se to be less visible, but that's a question for the police. But I agree with the chief completely. This event yesterday was about a celebration, a once in a perhaps lifetime, maybe not, hope not, but not a very a pretty rare event when a city can celebrate a championship sporting event like winning the NBA title. So this was about celebrating. This was about coming together. This was about thanking the team, and the team finally being able to gather with the fans and thank them as part of the parade and then the rally at the square.
So I'm clear, the decision to have more plainclothes, less visible police officers was one made by the police or one made by the city?
All policing decisions are made by the police. So I don't know what the policing decision was around that type of thing. What I can tell you is that you have a police presence, you have a security presence for the event itself that you're having. This was a celebratory event, not a security event. So in other words, you see something like a G20, for example, where the objective is to keep people out. The objective yesterday was to celebrate and to have fun and to bring people together. There is no place at any time for a gun in this city.
Sure.
So that aside, I think the event itself and the short planning time frame that we had, I think what can say is that overall it went extremely well. The parade was slow, no doubt about that, but that was part of the fans, surging onto the street, wanting to celebrate and to have a good time. And those kinds of policing decisions about crowds and the like are made on a case-by-case basis. It's a very fluid situation, and they look at it and they say, are people having a good time? Yes. Is there a security concern in this particular instance? Yes or no? Measures are taken to protect the public, for sure. Mitigation trucks are at the ends of roadways and the like, and there is a police and security presence, absolutely. But if the resources are there for a celebration and to keep the peace.
Brad, we understand that it was definitely a celebration. One of the concerns, you mentioned the delay in the parade getting to Nathan Phillips Square. One of those concerns is that there were no barricades along the route. So you can see from all the footage, the crowds are pressing into any open space, including between each of those buses. And you can see officers on scene who are literally pushing people away from the buses. So my question is, this is a city who does Caravana with 1 million people. We do Pride Parade, we do the Santa Claus Parade. Parades are not new. Large-scale parades are not new to our city. We do them smart every year. Why was the decision made for no barricades when we've invited 1 million, 2 million people to come and celebrate?
So there were barricades. We had barricades on the route. The barricades were essentially ignored by the fans.
I've spoken to a driver of one of the vehicles in that parade who said there were no visible barricades he could see to stop people.
Yeah, so that's because there was such a surge of people. I can tell you that barricades were erected. Were they everywhere on both sides of the street? I don't believe they were, but they were certainly along key pieces of the route, say University Avenue. I think one of the things, Anne-Marie, that, as again, we need to remember, this is about celebration, not keeping people back, but allowing people to have fun. And so, yes, people surged onto the street, and that's something that I think is part of our part of our postmortem and debrief on this event is, what might we be able to do differently next time? Hopefully there will be a next time like this where people can still get close and still have fun and not slow down the parade. Yes, slowing down the parade was an inconvenience, but it wasn't a security concern. There were some safety concerns with fans getting a little over exuberant, no doubt about that. But I think this is one of the things that we can look at and how we might be able to manage the parade route maybe a little bit differently next time. And so we'll look at everything in terms of how yesterday went. I think
Brett,
overall it went extremely well.
Brett, really quickly before I let you go, we do have a big parade coming up. Pride Parade is happening on this Sunday. Does what happened at the rally affect any security measures coming up on Sunday?
You know, the city has been hosting Pride for many, many years. I've participated when I was with the TTC. It is a very different kind of an event. It is, floats are part of it. There aren't any, big superstars like Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry on the floats. And so people are there to sort of watch the parade, kind of like they do the Santa Claus parade, and take in all of those floats. And so they're less likely to sort of try to jump barricades to get close. So we manage Pride every year extremely well. It's a different kind of crowd, and the crowd has a great time, and that's about celebration, just as yesterday's was. Different type of an event, different type of sort of mood, and there was great jubilation and exuberance yesterday, and this maybe once in a lifetime type event. Hope not, but So yeah, are there lessons to be learned from an event like yesterday? Absolutely.
Sure. Brett, I want to thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.